Good afternoon from Yamibi TV. Wishing you all well, sending plenty of love your way, and hoping your day is going the best it possibly can. Terence Wilson, you're going to love this one. Now, when I first went to prison in the 80s, right, this was one of the first biggest battles that I ever saw from one man, right? And it took place. It was 1988, and it was in the vicinity of Wormwood Scrubs, and I was all alone behind the door again. Now, Andy Constantino, Ambrosemendy's brother, named Joey, right? So I confirmed today. A geezer called Chandler from East London as well, a well-known armed robber, a big timer, not an idiot, right? He had a co-defendant called Cummins, I think, at that time as well. Not an idiot either, a big name from back in the day. And there were two brothers as well, by Junior Ward or Gary Ward, right? They were armed blaggers as well, and they was having beef at that time. This is the kind of thing that can happen in prison. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. They had war with their co-defendant, Mitchell, right? He was meant to have done something bad to them on their court case, and they weighed him in, right? So this was all going on during about the same time. So Andy Constantino goes on a visit, right? Chandler sitting there. They were eyeballing each other from that moment, so I hear, but I wasn't in the room at that time. But the Chinese whispers on the wing when they came back is that another geezer told Andy Constantino, listen, he's Chandler and someone else are saying, how come he's got a mixed race lady coming to visit him, right? This is what it can be like sometimes, right? Silly things can, a little fuse can set off a big, big bomb. So Andy Constantino was up on the fours. They were down on the threes, but at this time, because remember, they're probably all unconvicted at this time, like I was, which means you're on remand, right? So he probably gets that news. So the next day, visits are called, and Andy Constantino goes on a visit, because you get visits every day, them days on remand, right? So Chandler's on a visit as well. They eyeball each other as soon as they come in. Andy Constantino walks straight up to him without going on his visit, and Chandler gets up. They start to have it a little bit. Chandler throws one, he missed. Andy Constantino knocked him clean out. His eye was splattered all over the place. The screws got involved. Andy Constantino had to get escorted off the visits. Now, I was there for that. When we went back to the wing, right, Scrubs, it was always bang up them days. There wasn't much association in the evenings and that kind of stuff. So the next morning, Albert Moffet, right, I told you about him the other day, went out with Tommy Wisby's daughter. I'm positive about this, and some of you have confirmed this. Oh, look, I knew something was going to happen with the ice cream van, right? I mean, like this. Albie Moffat walked up. I was leaning on the railings. He walked up to Andy Constantino and said, listen, they're plotting on you up there. I heard them. They're coming for you. But listen, I got you, Andy, right? Jimmy Ozzie was there at that time. Or Delroy Showers was there at that time as well, right? So Andy's getting ready. So he can see three people coming down the stairs. Chandler, I think it was Cummins, I can't be too sure, but I know the other person was definitely Ambrosemendy's brother, right? I believe to be Joey, but don't hold that bit against, but definitely one of Ambrosemendy's brothers, right? So they're coming down, walking towards him, and they rush him, right? They all start swinging and everything. Nothing really never landed on Andy Constantino, right? To be honest, brutally frank and honest, right? This was the first time I kind of saw one man do what he did in the way that he did it, and he knocked all three of them on the floor, right? They got back up, right? No screws were about. He gave them a chance. So when they all got back up, Andy started to back off down the landing, you know, because you know what it's like with certain fights. Not that he was running or anything, right? But Albert Moffat came with a pen from nowhere and stabbed both of them up. Ambrosemendy's brother got stabbed up, I'm afraid. To be brutally honest, he did, man, right? I don't know why Andy let him back off the floor anyway. I never knew him at that time. But Albert Moffat stabbed them two up, right? And that's when the bell went, screws come, blah, blah, blah. They sent a Nigerian kung fu geezer, right? Andy Constantino was waiting in the holding cell after that for a visit. The big Nigerian geezer came in, but he took a sly swipe, right? But Andy must have been expecting it and must have gone like that and made him miss and weighed him in as well. So he's gone on his visit anyway. He's come back escorted everywhere now after what's been going on. This is how prison can go sometimes. When he got back to the wing, he's looking for the Nigerian Kung Fu fighter, right? I thought Andy was a bit of a lunatic back then, right? I didn't really know him, but he was really temperamental, all right? But Delroy Showers come up to him and put his arm around him. I said, listen, Andy, Jimmy Ozzy like Andy Constantino as well. He put his hand around Andy Constantino. I said to him, look, you've done the job now. Just leave it and all that. And Andy went, yeah, all right, then leave it, right? I got another story where Andy Constantino had a big fight with Robert Simmons. During this time, Andy Constantino was fighting everybody, man. But there is a second part to this story with Chandler, because Chandler saw him in reception and had a homemade weapon with some, what's that fluid called, where you put it on the weapon to make it even worse, and tried to rush him in reception. But I think the knife hit the screw, but I wasn't there, all right, for that bit. But the pasa, the Chinese whispers, that's how the story went. But I put Andy Constantino as a major figure and a fighter from those early days and into the mid-90s. I'm hoping, if he answers my call, to get him on the podcast, because his story is really powerful. You satisfied, Terence Wilson? I think I got that just about right. But this saga dragged on into the reception era, even into the courtroom when they were at the same court and all that. These are the kind of things that go on when these incidents happen. It's on site as soon as any enemy sees each other, right? So I might be back up. No, we'll be going live tonight. Loads of love to you all.